Hey guys, welcome back to LMT Lifestyles. So this is about my second appointment that I had on Thursday. Yep, Thursday. So this was the glucose screening test that I had to do. Which y'all, I forgot how nasty that stuff was. Like, I remember when I took it for Amber, when I was pregnant with Amber. Ooh, that stuff is nasty. And this lady beside me, she was trying to tell me, okay, let me just back up real quick. So I get there or whatever, and they say, okay, you have to go to sign in at the lab. So I go to the lab and then sign in, and the lady said, okay, so here's your glucose drink or whatever. It's a clear drink. It has a orange flavor. And so I said, okay, great. Sat down. This lady beside me, I'm in the waiting room. She was saying that she was like, just pretend like it's Tang. And I'm like, this ain't no daggone Tang. This joint was so sweet and nasty aftertaste. Then again, I haven't had Tang in a long time, so I have no idea if it was like Tang, but it was just not good. It was just orange aftertaste, nasty stuff. So the nurse was telling me that I wasn't allowed to drink any water. So like I told you in the last video, what I had been doing every time I go to the prenatal appointment, because you have to do a urine sample, you have to make sure that you drink a lot of water before you get there. So it's my advice that to give yourself some time, like at least an hour or 30 minutes before you go to your appointment, to get like a whole bottle of water down if you can. Otherwise, I don't know how you do peeing on cue, but like I just don't. It does not work. So I need to have a full bladder in order for me to give you what you want. Even still, I have to be like, Lord, please, to cut out, because it's just like, I don't know. It just gets nervous or something. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, back to the glucose test. So basically, I had to sit there for a little bit until this lady came and got my vitals. Everything was normal, and then she told me to go back into the waiting room and sit there until they can get a room for me, so I can talk with my doctor for a little bit of time, because this whole appointment ended up being, it's like pretty much like an hour. Like, it was pretty much like over an hour, because the glucose has to get into your system. So the appointment, or the time I probably got my glucose drink in, was like around 9:23 or 9:28. And so at 10:28, that's when I had to get my blood drawn. So so after I got a room, I got a chance to sit down and talk to the doctor. The way that I found out this time, I found out that the way they do things is like, at this particular OBGYNs, that they have all the OBGYNs, like all the doctors they have on staff, they let you meet with them all the way up until you give birth. So basically, I'm meeting with, a lot of times, a different doctor every time. So they do that because of the fact that it's like, you don't know who you're going to get, because what if the one that you have is not available? So they would rather you be acquainted with all of them, so that way, you won't feel uncomfortable when you have to go into labor, which I thought was pretty cool. So, I mean, I think a lot of places should work like that, because sometimes your doctor just doesn't show up. Sorry. Like last time that I had Amber, my doctor didn't show up at all, and I had like a nurse that was at the hospital help me give birth, and that was really crazy. I'll share that story one day. But yeah, so I didn't have a doctor this time. I guess there was nobody really available to really take me that day. I had a midwife, and so she was just talking, asking me how I was doing, and asking me about how my morning sickness has been going and whatnot. And I told her about how I was taking Unisum and the vitamin B6, and I told her that it works, but it makes me groggy in the morning, and I feel like in the afternoon it kind of wears off and then comes back on or something like that. I don't want to feel sick at all. So she was just like, okay, well, is there anything else that you want to take or whatever? I said, well, I like the diclegis, but of course my insurance would not cover it, so therefore I had to I was like, I have to get samples or whatever. So she said, okay, I'll give you some samples. So she gave me like 2 bottles, and it has like 12 pills in each bottle. So that was pretty good. Then what else happened? Oh yeah, so after that, the lady said, let's check on the baby and whatnot. And so she was trying to do an ultrasound on, I guess, like the old ultrasound machine, the one that you get kind of like people would kind of wheel in and, you know, go over your stomach. So she was just like, oh, I can't get the heartbeat or whatever. I wasn't worried because I was like, I've been feeling the baby flutter since like, I think I was 11 weeks. So I wasn't worried because I was like, I felt the baby flutter this morning, so I'm not worried. But she was just like, it was just annoying that she couldn't get the heartbeat. And she was like, I'm sorry, it's the old machine and all that. She said, but the baby is fine. It's just I'm trying to get the heartbeat. The baby keeps moving around. So she was just like, okay, we're going to probably have to get a technician for the ultrasound so that way you can go just do the ultrasound. So I said, okay. So after that, I went ahead. By this time, it was time for me to get my blood work done. So I went to the lab, got my blood work done, and then I went to the ultrasound. And so in the ultrasound room, it was just like, it was of course easier to get the heartbeat, but like the baby was still moving around. And I felt like the baby was kind of like turned with the back towards us, like saying like, no pictures, please. Like the baby was not playing. It was like, he was like, please just leave me alone. Like, can you stop? Like, you're bothering me. So we got the heartbeat there. And so everything was normal. Everything was fine. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. Of course, at checkout, you make your next appointment. But I ended up making like my next 3 or 4 appointments. My gender reveal ultrasound. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I have to figure out like with the gender reveal type thing. Am I going to have a gender reveal party or whatever? I don't know. I'm not, like, I feel like I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know if I'm like really like a party girl or something like that. I don't know. But I have a lot of ideas of how people who are party people can do their thing. So I don't know. I have to figure it out. But yeah. So that was pretty much it. That was my second prenatal appointment. And I'm still 13 weeks. I'll be 14 weeks tomorrow. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Anything to add, buddy, over there?
No. Excited for the gender reveal.
I bet you are, because he wants to have a boy. But
the heir to the throne.
Yeah, we'll see.
So yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll do like a video. I don't know, one of our friends come up on the party.
Yeah, everybody wants to talk about like doing like a gender reveal party. It just, we'll see.
The discrepancy is different.
Definitely different than the last one. I guess you guys won't understand that until we actually tell you the story. I guess one day we'll pretty much tell you our story time, how everything happened back then, and compare it to now and everything like that. But yeah, until next time, guys. So let me know if you have any questions about, prenatal appointments, anything. I'm not a doctor or anything. I can only tell you my experience. So, let me know. I'm always happy to help. So please like this video, subscribe, share it, follow us on social media, and I will see you next time. See y'all.